Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Duplin County in the Wallace area where a fire department is undergoing some reorganization and is now not answering emergency calls after its longtime fire chief retired. In an emergency meeting yesterday, Wallace Town Council voted to reorganize its fire department. Chief Sammy Marshburn's retirement after 43 years prompted multiple resignations. The town said the reorganization came due to concerns of low morale and the resignations. Now, the town manager, Rob Taylor, said, quote, ongoing personnel issues have been going on for some time, affecting morale and hollowing out our volunteer corps. Volunteers are the heart and soul of all fire departments, especially here in Wallace. With the retirement of the previous chief and many looking to leave, council made the decision to step in and take a more proactive approach, end quote. Now, the council appointed Wayne Rich as the interim fire chief and Archie Carter as assistant chief. Now, Taylor went on to say, quote, we did not disband. There is still a fire department, there's still a fire chief, and there's an assistant fire chief, end quote. Now, the town manager expects the fire department to return to full staffing capacity within days. Until that happens, the Teachee Volunteer Fire Department will assist the town in covering any emergency calls. And with the war in Iran raging, oil prices skyrocketing, and the price of life at home continuing to increase, of course, a Congress that remains deadlocked, politicians have a long way to go in order to swing the midterm vote. NBC's Molly Martinez, WITN's Washington correspondent Molly Martinez has more from D.C.
President Donald Trump is letting out his battle cry in front of Republican lawmakers here at the Trump National Doral, Miami. The idea is to get unified messaging in the party as they lay out their battle plans for the midterms.
You have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
A battle for the House, a battle for the Senate, and affordability could decide who wins.
Our message is simple. Democrats created the high prices, and our policies are totally ending them, and they're ended, and we're doing better. We're even bringing them down further.
But as the war with Iran stretches into its second week, the economy is reeling. Specifically, the pinch at the pump. According to AAA, gas prices on average are up 50 cents a gallon from a week ago. Next week, experts believe it could jump a full $1. To add to the uncertainty, the president is unsure when this war will end.
I don't know when they cry uncle, but they should have cried it 2 days ago, right?
Another priority for the president, the Save America Act. It would require ID and proof of citizenship to vote. Some worry it would purge thousands off the voter rolls, including married women who have legally changed their last names and those without passports.
So I'm making my biggest plea tonight. It'll make you, and I'm not doing it for this reason at all, it'll guarantee the midterms.
The president says he's not signing anything into law until the Save America Act gets through the Senate, who have shown little interest in passing it. He's hoping after this week, they'll change their tune. Monday kicks off this Republican retreat, and we're going to be here all week speaking with your lawmakers about their plans and how it's going to impact you. In Miami, I'm Molly Martinez.
Well, thank you, Molly, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast. It's looking beautiful and sunny outside right now, but we do have a cool down coming up. Not for tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually going to be a little bit warmer than today. The cool down comes once we get into Thursday. An incoming cold front will not only bring about some cloud cover and rain showers, but cooler air will follow in behind it. Let's take a look at what we've got outside right now. This is a view through our Neuse River Cam in New Bern. 80-degree air temp comes with a south-southwesterly breeze at 6 miles per hour. Overall, again, you can see some clouds off in the distance, but overhead looking again at mostly sunny skies. Those will carry over into your Wednesday. Right now, we are breaking into the 80s. We've got 80 degrees right now in New Bern, 81 in Kenansville, Goldsboro, Greenville, and Stumpy Point, 82 Currently in Kinston, we're close to the 80s right now, and Williamston and Washington both coming in at about 79 degrees, 78 in Elizabeth City, along with Jacksonville, 77 in Edenton and Rocky Mount. Along the immediate coast, though, upper 60s, 68, 69 degrees from Manteo all the way down to Cape Lookout and around the Beaufort area. Now, winds out of the southwest today, again, have been fairly mild. Currently coming in at about a 5 to 10 mile per hour clip, which is considered, average for this time of year. Not anticipating anything super windy for today, but tomorrow those winds may get a little bit stronger as we head into the afternoon. Looking at more about a 6 to 12 mile per hour breeze coming up for tomorrow. But for this evening, again, light winds out there. Let's talk about tomorrow, though, starting out in the low 60s. From there, we'll start to reach out into the 70s. By the time we get to maybe a little bit past 10 a.m., 10 will come in around 69 degrees, 73 by 11, though. And then by lunchtime, looking at 77 degrees. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover possible, but it's certainly, again, going to be a toasty afternoon as highs will reach into the mid to possibly upper 80s. 86 degrees by 3, 87 between 4 and 5 p.m. We'll cool off after that, and of course, it won't just be cooling off Wednesday night. We will be quite a bit cooler coming up on Thursday, because through the day on Wednesday, here's Wednesday, 9 a.m., Eastern North Carolina looking pretty good. But further back towards the west, you can clearly see we've got that frontal system, and that is only going to get stronger as it approaches the mountains. Now, the good news is that the mountains are, in fact, there and going to do a pretty good job of soaking up quite a bit of the storm energy from that frontal boundary. So by the time it actually reaches us, does not look like we are going to be anticipating any sort of major severe weather outbreak. Of course, you may have been hearing about severe weather often in the Midwest, Oklahoma, and Michigan just this past weekend. I do believe it was Sunday. Had a few tornadoes touch down. A few people, unfortunately, lost their homes. We are not looking at that same reality. It is, again, going to be a much more broad and stretched out frontal passage, which limits the potential for severe storm generation. That is fantastic news. We need the rain. We need the rain. We don't need the severe weather. And right now it looks like it's going to be coming in as we want, as raindrops, but not attached to severe wind gusts or even a tornado threat. Not going to happen. We could potentially see maybe a few snowflakes try to come down over some of our northern counties closer to the Virginia line. Now, even if snowflakes do fall, none of it is actively going to stick. So it's just a cool sight to see. But here's again another look at that severe weather threat on Thursday. Non-existent. So again, great news there. That's from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, highlighting the fact that this frontal boundary, while strong, is again going to be too stretched out by the time it reaches us to create any sort of significant weather threats. 74 degrees on Thursday after 87 tomorrow. We'll turn down into the low 60s by Friday. In fact, Friday morning, we are looking at the mid 30s. It is going to be a chilly one out there as we kick off the end of the week. Then we get into the weekend, warming up from Friday into Saturday, gaining nearly 10 degrees, 71 degrees on Saturday after 62 on Friday, 77 by Sunday, and then, well, another cold front comes in. That's expected to roll through the east on Monday, maybe a few showers trying to show up late Sunday afternoon, but it will be gone off the coast by Monday evening, leaving us with rapidly falling air temperatures down into the low 40s Monday night into Tuesday morning. Tuesday's high, 48 degrees. And then Tuesday night, it's not showing up on your 8-day forecast as of right now, but next Tuesday night, not tonight, next Tuesday night, we could be looking at another freeze. Right now, models are suggesting air temperatures down around 31, 32, 33 degrees. I know that's pretty much right on that freezing cusp. So if you have already put plants in the ground, or maybe you're trying to avoid any sort of frosting on whatever it is outside, understand that, again, we may end up with one more freeze before March is all said and done. And that freeze actually could come up next week. But that's all we have time for today's looks like 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.